is it a boring? It's too structured. Way too structured. Is there a slide? Okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't see a slide. Just new and improved stuff. Sometimes it's not new and improved. Oh, you ready? I am. All right. Well, hello, everybody. It is Ina Montgomery of Urban Tech, founder and executive director. And this is my lovely show on Thursdays at 5 o'clock on KUAW, a Digi sis in a Digi world. So I'm really taking full advantage of technology. I am outside. So I am on my hotspot on my cell phone, and I am connected, and I am sitting here at a park. Let me just do a little view for you to see. Got some kids in the background here on the playground. They are playing, and I am on Linwood, right next to what is that? Brooklyn and Linwood, right next to Metropolitan Church, a very historic church here in Kansas City. Like I said, technology at its best. So we don't have no wires, don't have to be inside. I'm not wired on the internet. I'm not wired on power, which is actually why we started the show a little early, because I thought I was charging all afternoon, only to find out that I wasn't. So that's the lovely scenic background that you see is the church. And so you may hear some background noise. And so we will be sure to talk loud. And when I say we, I am referring to me. I'm going to move here, and my guest, Kieran, I always forget your last name.
This is Hooker.
Kieran Hooker. And he is going to introduce himself to you all, and then I'm going to ask him some questions. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, my name is Kieran Hooker, and well, I used to attend Paseo, of course. I just graduated this year. I'm gonna be studying engineering.
Sorry, y'all. We got bees.
I'll be studying engineering and a little bit of cosmetology. I'll be studying to get my license in barbership, of course. That's about all I have.
Okay, but you're working right now as a barber, right?
Somewhat, yes. I cut a little bit of hair. I'm starting to give myself a little bit more experience before I actually go into the school, so I won't walk in there with nothing, of course.
Right.
And I also work at, what is it called, Missouri's Jobs with Voters Action. It's when you go around knock on people's doors to get them to vote.
Okay.
For the next upcoming votes, they pay pretty good on that too. They pay about $18 an hour to those who want to join. And they're all for armor, but that's all I do.
Oh, he does way more than that, you all. He is very talented. He's a dancer. He's in the band. He is very smart academically. So a very, you can't see, but a very, a lot of packed in that, in that small frame, Kieran. So I'm sorry, wrong person, Kieran. So I wanted to bring him on today, and yes, we are fighting gnats or bugs or something, but to talk about technology and his peers. So he represents the class of 2020. Let's first talk about that and the, I don't know, anxiety, disappointment. What was it not having, if you will, a regular, normal graduation for your class? How was that?
Well, it felt, how I put it, I wouldn't say we were extremely too mad about it. I mean, we were angry that we didn't get the experience what all the other seniors got to experience. We didn't really get the, do prom. We didn't get to go on a class trip. So all of that, us all trying to come up with as much money as possible. All of it kind of went to waste because we weren't able to actually use it to actually do anything fun with the rest of the seniors. Throughout the graduation, we only got to invite 4 people. So we only had like 4 supporters that would basically be like a household. That's pretty much about it. So we didn't get a chance to have as much support as much as possible throughout this whole entire COVID. It sort of changed everything. Sort of like, well, since we use a lot of technology now, we kind of have no choice because of this COVID. So now we sort of rely on technology in different ways. So ever since we graduated from school, all we do now for school is use technology instead of being on computers and our phones and being Zoom calls. It'll basically be through almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
But just anything dealing with technology, we just use to our advantage in order to actually graduate through all of the schools that we go through. That's kind of how technology is impacting us at this moment.
Okay. And so going back to graduation and like you said, not having prom, did you guys do like an online prom? Like I saw some school districts, just figured something out. Did your
Right.
school district do anything? Or you and your friends in absence of something?
I mean, so at the Hope Center, for
Oh.
those who graduated this year,
Mm-hmm.
they did something pretty nice for us members of the Hope Center. They had a tiny little prom get together. We got to invite people and we got to eat together and fellowship, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But they put a little celebration on for us. Our school district didn't really do as much at all, except just the graduation. But that was limited as also, so we didn't get as much as we hoped for. Not even something as simple as a prom. Not even something as simple as anything. But the best thing we got so far that I was happy about is the refunds for the that 150 for, you call it, the senior dues. I guess that's something that it felt better receiving that back because we didn't get a whole entire senior year, let alone get to do anything fun with the rest of the senior class that included our senior gowns and stuff like that. So I'm glad we got a refund on that. But other than that,
now what about the graduation collage? Didn't they pull all that together and you all were able to see like one graduation?
I'm not sure. As far as I know, so this is how our school did it technically. So I'm at Paseo. So what we did was, they did have like little photos behind you as you were graduating, but so it was, how to put it. So it was group. It was a bunch of groups. We had group A all the way through group Z, basically. Well, mainly to like group. I don't know for sure, but we had them in letter format and letter formation in order to keep it organized. So what we did was we had to wait outside until the other ones that are inside of the buildings actually graduate. So we'd have to wait outside in the line. Then the second they graduate, they'd have to leave and we'd have to go in and we'd just keep exchanging just like that. And then whatever the seniors decide to do after that, it's on them. Like some of the seniors went to like the park to take more pictures, but it wasn't really informed like that.
Okay. So, and I just got to give a shout out to my mentee, Felania, who was the keynote speaker at the Paseo graduation.
And the valedictorian.
And the valedictorian. So she's rocking and rolling over at UMKC. So shout to her. So you all, so you got through graduation. How do you and your friends primarily stay in touch with each other? Are you doing Zoom calls at night? I know you said some other things, but if you could just be a little more maybe specific about what you guys do to see each other.
Of course. So we text through certain apps. There's always upcoming apps through social media. Now these apps are mainly, pretty sure whoever invested in these apps now are making a lot of money. So we have things like, let's say, Facebook, Messenger, Zoom, anything we can use to text each other in case of, Wi-Fi not being right or something like that. That's just how we get in contact with each other, through text. Just anything dealing with social media, we just get in contact like that and we stay in contact. How else do we stay in contact?
So is it the usual apps like Snapchat?
Yes, Snapchat,
like you
Messenger,
said, Facebook Messenger,
Instagram, FaceTime, of course.
Right.
But just the regular usual, just the rest of our teams do this, what our generation does. We use this to our advantage.
Okay. Oh, you are using Microsoft Teams? Like when you have more than one person, are you doing Zoom, or how are you doing when you have more than one person?
If we have more than one person, we do something like a whole entire group chat on Messenger. So what I'll do, me and my friends, we'll make a whole entire group chat on Messenger. We call at certain times. Since we all are busy a little bit because everybody's doing a lot of schooling, so we'd have to set up times and schedules to actually talk to each other to keep ourselves motivated and stuff. We push each other as friends. That's what we do, and we just set up times to talk to each other as much as possible.
Okay, well, good. So what about like online concerts? I know some artists have given like, some online you have a favorite rapper or group that you've been following during this pandemic?
I mean, not necessarily, but I know how they be, how they're doing these concert things, whatever. So most of them, most people, like these rappers, what they do is they present their music through live on Instagram. That's what mainly they've been doing in order to keep it safe through the COVID. And some still go on tour and have regular live concerts, but those are like limited to a certain amount of people. Pretty sure they cost more because of this COVID.
Right.
But it's mainly through lives and stuff like that. Sometimes you can schedule, let me see, you can buy tickets online. Everything's mainly just online in order to get to the concert. So they do either a little bit in person or they basically do like a music drop online. Live.
Right. What about, is Spotify still around? Are people still following that platform?
Our generation, we almost forgot about Spotify.
Oh wow.
People don't really use Spotify just like that because now we have a lot of updated apps now,
Mm-hmm.
and we mainly use original things such as like YouTube,
Okay.
and maybe Audio Max that allows you to download music at the same time listening to it.
Right.
But
when you mentioned paying for a live concert, are people paying to download music to listen to, say, a new single of their favorite artist?
Well, usually these artists, whenever they drop any new singles, they mainly drop it on apps that are easy to access, to where they don't necessarily have to pay. In order for them to get more and more people to actually listen to it, some people don't have money, but in order the more views they get in general, the more money YouTube actually pays them. So there you drop it on YouTube, SoundCloud, you need these other music apps, and that's how they technically get paid, just by getting a certain amount of clout in general.
Right. Man, we got these sirens going, of course, in the middle of our show, so just bear with us. Hopefully you all are able to hear us. I don't know if you can hear the wind, because the wind is definitely blowing. So getting back to the artists, what about local artists? Do you follow any local artists? And if so, are they struggling? How are they doing during this pandemic?
Well, throughout this pandemic, I've been trying to keep myself a little bit off of social media, but on just a little bit too. So, well, this one rapper I follow mainly a lot. I say Logic.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows about Logic.
He's local.
He's a little bit local. Say, what he does is, I won't say he's having much of a struggle, but really, rappers, they really find a way to come together and still completely make their music.
Right.
That's something that they're truly dedicated to. And it's easy to make music. You guys know it's not so hard. Whenever you gain a certain natural talent, it's not hard to access it, really. So I would say any of the upcoming rappers are actually struggling or whatever. The only time they be struggling is like actual live concerts, because it takes a lot to get them to have actual live concerts because of this COVID. Yeah. But since they opening malls and stuff up, I'd say they would still probably let them go through the lives and stuff like that. It really just depends on how the concerts are going and where they are. Right.
So you guys are, staying connected through social media, using, Snapchat, Facebook, all the different platforms, YouTube, keeping up with your music. What other ways, other than education, are you guys? Well, I guess you got social education. What about religion? Are you online for your church services?
Yes, a little bit. It just depends on where my schedule's at. So we do Zoom calls at 12 o'clock on Sundays. In Macedonia, of course. That's don't receive any info on Bible studies. We don't really have many of the Bible studies. Everybody's a little bit busy throughout this COVID. So they also have, like you were telling me earlier, a little bit of these church services in the parking lot. That's what they do too, to keep them, spread it apart. Some stay in the car maybe. I don't really know too much about it, but we mainly do it through online, through Zooms on Sundays. That's how we stay in that.
Okay. I think they actually have a Facebook Live and a Zoom on Sunday. And what he mentioned was that I believe for the first time that church will be doing a parking lot service this Saturday and Sunday, 2 days, to accommodate the number of members that they have. So that is, I know, another way religious organizations have figured out to bring their members together, because we know that unfortunately a lot of a lot of churches have senior memberships. And the seniors are not feeling COVID. They're not taking any chances. They're not coming out. They rather, not be around people. So having that option to sit in your car and listen to a church service, I think, is a great one. So, now here the sun comes and feels good. I love this vitamin D. Can you tell me about any more challenges with technology? Has it been challenging, or because of your age, you're able to navigate it with no problems?
So, well, other things we also do on technology, using technology, is promoting. So a lot of people like to start businesses. Throughout this COVID thing, everybody's been starting businesses. I thought this COVID is whenever I mainly started actually cutting hair and studying whatever I want to actually be in the future. And I just started, plotting on what I should actually do. Okay. So I say, mainly through social media. Let's say through Facebook, people are able to sell things to like the Facebook market or their own websites. I think this COVID actually gave them time to actually see a few different ways to actually promote themselves, whether it's through websites, creating clotheslines and things like that. It just gave them more time to actually come up with more ideas to actually promote themselves. So that's one way social media has also helped us with stuff like that too.
Yeah, most definitely. I like hearing that, because I've always said, our kids, and we don't do a good job of teaching our kids how to be innovators and creators and developers, and stop being consumers. And so it's great, especially when we know that the stuff that we see in the stores, we're always saying, man, I would do this different, I would do that different. And so now, even with apps, there's an opportunity to create, maybe our own Facebook. They talk about what is it called, Black Twitter. And so even though we have these things that are out there, we always find a way to make it our own or to do our own. So I'm excited and hoping that, people are, doing clotheslines or doing the things, as he mentioned, during this time. I know that's one thing that me and my friends have said, that it's just giving us time to do the things that we've always wanted to do. And for some reason, didn't have the time, didn't take the time. Not quite sure, but COVID definitely has given us time to focus on some of those personal goals and objectives and pursuits that we've always wanted to do. So we talked about the good. Did you talk about challenges of technology?
Oh, just a little bit of challenges. Yesterday went into that a little bit. So I said the only thing challenging about technology is the complications of new sites.
Okay.
I say let me get a little bit into that. So let's say a new site comes out, new way to these phones always update a little bit every month. These iPhones, all of these Androids, everything updates and becomes a little bit confusing to use. And another complication we have whenever it comes to social media, it's like Wi-Fi and just internet connection in general. Because some people they weren't even actually able to work over this COVID sometimes because of the fact that their job actually involves a lot of people being in a certain amount of area. For example, let's say the IRS, they still help you throughout ways to still give a little bit of money, let's say unemployment checks a little bit, stuff like that. But the building had to close down multiple times because of COVID in general. But
oh wow!
Regular other business organizations, they had to stop working a little bit because of COVID in order to stay on the safe side, so nobody would really get sick. That's really mainly a challenge of this COVID thing. So this technology stuff, I'd say mainly just keeping connection in order to actually communicate with others. If they can't communicate with others and the connection starts to suck, they won't really be able to do anything. Like without Wi-Fi throughout this whole entire COVID, it'd technically be a little hard. No schoolwork, no keeping in touch with friends, family, no church, no nothing. That's something that makes it hard about this technology.
So for you and your peers, like, are you connected by Wi-Fi or hotspots or hardwired or cable subscriptions? I mean, is it all of the above, or are some people really struggling because they don't have a good connectivity at home?
Right. So I'd say I say Wi-Fi and connection on keeping the phone on. Of course, to say I'm with Metro, of course. So I say regular phone reception and regular Wi-Fi. Those are the only two things I really use. I don't really use anything like cable and stuff like that. Right. But most things I don't really find using cable anymore now that we have all of these movie apps out, like Hulu, Netflix, and stuff like that. TV's not really needed as much anymore since we have more access to everything now because of this technology.
Right. That's true. Definitely a lot of options. I know for me, it's definitely a new age. And like I said, here we are sitting in a park outside, no wires anywhere, using my mobile hotspot on my phone and conducting an interview on Facebook Live using OBS software, whatever Mr. Walker is using there with KUAW. And I think he could connect that to his YouTube channel and just all these different platforms and options to use technology. So I can't think of any other questions, Kilron. Am I saying your name right?
It's Kelron.
Kelron.
It's both. They go hand in hand.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I see the two E's, and so I apologize for that. So any final comments or thoughts about technology and COVID and suggestions, ideas? What you got? What you got to close this out?
I mean, to those that don't specifically have social media or whatever, so throughout COVID, everybody gets a little bit lazy, so they move around less because I wouldn't necessarily blame technologies, but I blame the fact that we technically rely on it as hard as we do now because of this COVID. So I say stay active, stay fit, keep your body healthy because nobody want to die early. You gotta survive as much as possible.
That's true.
So still keep yourself active no matter how much technology you come across. I'm pretty sure technology is going to be the main thing you're going to be using in order to do schoolwork and stuff like that. And technology is needed. If you don't have any, you can still contact services like I think Xfinity and T-Mobile. They're making ways to where people that still need to do their schoolwork, they're still making ways for them to come up with certain deals in order to actually get like the Wi-Fi connection.
Okay.
You know, most of the schools in the district are actually coming out with like Wi-Fi boxes, making it easier for the kids to actually do the work. But I would just say, just keep up your game on everything you're doing and stay active so you can, you know, the muscles that you don't use, you technically lose. So that's about it. That's all I can say.
All right. No, that's good. Some closing words. In fact, if I think about it, I did a presentation last weekend on the technology of fitness. And so that was talking about, you know, the Peloton machine. You can do online yoga. There are smart scales now that you can connect with your mobile apps on your cell phone. And so if you want to, you know, keep up with your weight, keep up with the calories you're burning, you can do that with your smart scale. So you have like one stop, if you will, on your fitness. There's online Tai Chi. There's just online everything. So there's no reason, as you're saying, for people to not be active. And the good thing is what? You can do it at your house. So you can put your workout clothes still at your house, still keep moving, still be active. And you definitely can enjoy a great day like today, because I'm going to get out here and lace up here and put my tennis shoes on and try to get in a couple of miles on the pavement. But yeah, so that's it.
That's about it. Just remember, muscles that you don't use, you lose.
I like that. I like that. There it is. All right. So those are our closing words, you all. Thank you for joining us here outside at the park on Brooklyn and Linwood in front of the historic Metropolitan Church. One last final view. And thank you again to my guest, Kelron Hooker. I think I got it right this time.
Yes, you did.
And good. So I am Ina Montgomery, founder and executive director of Urban Tech. I am a Digi sis in a Digi world. Signing off until next Thursday. Y'all be careful out there. And one more time, Kelron, if they don't what?
Muscles that you don't use, you lose.
You're going to lose. All right, y'all. Take care. Thanks, Mr. Walker. Okay, bye-bye.